My name is Aaron Miles, Sr. I'm the Natural Resource Manager for the Nez Perce Tribe and the Vice Chair for the Regional Tribal Operations Consortium. And I would like to have everybody who's participating in your own way, either bow your heads or pray and ask as I do the prayer for the opening and the land acknowledgement. Father, we come to you today. We ask for your blessings on all of the presenters, all those who are watching via Zoom. We ask that you bless all the families and help the tribes as we get through some of the tough times in our society, COVID, and now this country watching the Ukraine go through their turmoil. And we ask that you bless everybody, all the presenters, in your name. Amen. Okay, so I've been asked to do the land acknowledgement, and today we're here in Spokane, Washington. This is the homeland for the Spokane tribe, and wanted to make sure that we acknowledge the tribes that everywhere we travel when we do our Tribal Environmental Leaders Summit. And the Spokane tribe is located pretty close to here in Welpinette, Washington. And I just wanted to make sure that we, this is a special place. Like most, everywhere we go, it is tribal homeland. Although it's America, we've occupied this place before, since time immemorial. And so our songs, our stories, everything about us bear witness to our existence in these places. And so as I have mentioned, my tribe has some shared stories with Spokane's, and coming to these places to interact with other tribes. And some of the biggest fisheries returns, anadromous fisheries returns, whether it was spring Chinook, fall Chinook, steelhead, coho, all the fisheries that come back up to these headwaters are important, and tribes still have memory of these important species that have led to our existence in this place. And so it's important that as the descendants of our ancestors to remember and to work towards recovering those species. And I know that we're going to be talking about that throughout the conference. And so I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge the Spokane tribe. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is RANDI Madison. I'm just going to fill in some time while we wait for Michelle. I am the Executive Director of the Region 10 RTOC Consortium, and I wanted to welcome you all this morning as well, and tell you a little bit about this logo that we have behind me here. We are very fortunate to have had a local artist, Emma Noyes, design this for our event this week. It's very special, and so I wanted to just read the description that she provided for us. The 2022 TELS logo was created by Emma Noyes of the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation. Emma is an artist and author. She's inspired by the traditional homelands of her tribes, and particularly drawn to the storied geography of how coyote and other, excuse my pronunciation, Chuptics beings shaped and prepared the world that we live in today. As a Salish language learner and food gatherer, she is dedicated to creating a future where Native peoples thrive and enjoy whole person wellness through connection to land, culture, and community. Through her artwork, she strives to contribute to and expand upon a legacy of Plateau artists that have provided a visual and written universe of tribal Plateau indigeneity. Her book, Baby Speaks Salish, is an illustrated language manual for adults interested in adding more Colville Okanagan Salish into their daily interactions with children, and includes a graphic novel style story of her family's experience with language loss and language learning. Like most of her artwork, each page was drawn up with pen and ink or brush and ink with the final round of digital edits. Emma lives in the traditional territory of the Spokane tribe with her family and creates artwork in her home studio. In celebration of this 25th anniversary of the RTOC charter with EPA in Region 10, this design speaks to honoring the place-based traditional knowledge and Indigenous science. For many tribes in Eastern Washington, particularly Plateau tribes, there are sacred sets of 4 that can be overlaid onto a medicine wheel of the 4 directions. In this image, I represent 4 food chiefs: the deer, salmon, bitterroot, and service berries. These beings represent all that give their lives for the people to survive, and all those that the people hold responsibilities of honoring and hunting or gathering. They are surrounded by star designs because stories about each exist in both their home in the night sky and their terrestrial home. Also embedded in the image, you will find the elements: earth, water, fire, air, and wind. Our sacred sets of 4 serve as a compass and foundation for making decisions that are informed by the vast network of relationships between elements, food systems, seasons, and all traditional teachings. So we thank Emma for that very beautiful description of the art, and the inspiration behind it is very important to, I think, every single one of our tribes in this region. Even though it was created from the viewpoint of this area, it can transform to a meaningful space for all of us. So thank you so much, Emma, for that. And I will at this time turn it over to Ray and Michelle.
Ms. Chish, thank you very much for that. Randy, it's a beautiful design. I think it definitely transcends just one region. It definitely speaks for all of us.
Hey, Ray, maybe we should introduce our RTOC members, so everybody knows who they are, just real briefly, so we have at least an understanding as we're setting up everything for the different communities, and we'll have a time for people to ask questions. So.
Yeah, perfect. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kusatan. I'm also known as Raymond Paddock. I'm the Alaska Seat 2 position for RTOC. My meetup will be Friday at 2 o'clock. We'll talk more about that later, but Aaron?
Okay. My name is Aaron, and I'm the Idaho rep for RTOC. And so I was re-elected back on just recently. And so my alternate is Ken Clark, who's the water resource director for our tribe. And so my meetup is tomorrow at 3:30. And so we'll be able to have any questions or anything about what we're doing in Idaho, and express any concerns. I'll be on during that time.
I forgot to add in my alternate is Shauna Larson, and she will be with me as well.
Okay. All right. Perhaps if we have any of our RTOC or NTOC members on the call, you could show your face at least and maybe give a wave when I mention your name. And for anybody in the room that is an RTOC or NTOC rep, feel free to come up when your name is mentioned also. So for in our region, we have 11 positions, and each of our 11 primary representatives who are elected choose their alternates. So altogether, we have a total potential of 22. Right now, we have 1 vacancy, so we have 20 members on our committee. We'll start with the Alaska representatives. So for Alaska RTOC position 1, Miranda Hom. She is from the Craig Tribal Association, and Billie Jean Stewart of the native village of Kalskag. They represent 42 tribes and 3 consortia in southeast, lower, upper, and middle Kuskokwim area in Alaska. For Alaska position 2, as Ray mentioned, Ray's the primary. And then we also have Shauna Larson here. Shauna, would you like to come in and show your face for a second? We're doing this impromptu, so bear with us. Shauna is vice chairwoman of the Chickaloon Village Traditional Council. And, perhaps we'll hear a little bit from her later. And she will be at the meetup with Ray. Meetups, if you haven't noticed, are on your Whova platform under community, I believe. And Ray mentioned his meetup is at 2 p.m. on Friday. That's 2 p.m. Alaska time. So after the event is through, you can speak directly with Ray or Shauna at that time. Thank you, Shauna. Alaska position 3, we have Eric ALSTROM, who was just elected in January. So welcome, Eric is from he's the IGAP program director of the UPIC of Andriovsky. Is that correct? Okay. And actually his alternate is Robert Myers. Robert, are you on this morning? He's having internet issues also. Okay. And Robert Myers is from Pilot Station, Alaska. And together they represent 46 tribes and 8 consortia in the upper, lower, middle Yukon, interior, Copper River, Alaska. Thank you, Eric. All right, for Idaho, we have Mr. Vice Chair Aaron Miles and Ken Clark. Ken, are you on the call this morning? If you are, you can show your face and give a wave. Both Aaron and Ken are from the Nez Perce tribe in Idaho, and they represent 4 tribes and 1 consortium. All right, next we have Oregon. For Oregon, we have Heather Bartlett, who's our primary. She's from Cow Creek, Umpqua tribe, and Rosalind Luinya from the Confederated Tribes of Coos, Lower Umpqua, and Siuslaw Indians. They represent 9 tribes and 2 consortia from Oregon. For Eastern Washington, we are currently seeking representatives and have a few interested parties. So we just have to finalize some of those plans. And we will hopefully be making that announcement within the month, perhaps a month or 2 as we get those worked out. Eastern Washington tribes are 4 tribes and 2 consortia. In Western Washington, we have Todd Mitchell. Todd, are you on video? Can you show your face? There you are. There's Todd. Todd is the environmental manager from the Swinomish tribal community. They're in Western Washington, and Ann House, I believe, is here with us in person. Ann House is a staff attorney from the Snoqualmie Indian tribe, and they represent 25 tribes and 3 consortia. Thank you. Thank you, Ann. All right, for our NTOC, our National Tribal Representatives. In Alaska, our NTOC representatives, because we have so many tribes, and we want to make sure that no tribes are left without one specific assigned representative, we split up all the tribes. So NTOC members also are responsible for reporting out to some tribes. So for Alaska position 1 NTOC, we have Bill Hand. Bill is here with us, but isn't present this morning. Bill Hand is from the native village of Klutika, and his alternate as well, Sarah Miller. Between those two, they represent 39 tribes and 4 consortia for the Cook Inlet, Prince William Sound, Kodiak, Aleutian, and Pribilofs area. And as I read these, I just wanted everyone to know that although we have divided up our Alaska tribes specifically for a representative for you to contact, you can contact anyone in our committee at any time. So although we announced that these representatives cover certain areas, that's just for our purposes. So we make sure that nobody's left out, but anybody at any time can contact any of our representatives. Alaska position 2 in talk, we have Gayla Hoset from, I cannot ever pronounce this correctly, Kyoryong tribe, and Cassandra Johnson. And they are also here with us, but aren't present at this morning because they are actually going to be attending an NTALK meeting. Together, those two represent 51 tribes and 2 consortia. Their area is Bristol Bay, Lake Iliamna, and Southwest Alaska. In Idaho, Eastern Washington, and Eastern Oregon rep, we have Lewan Tyler and Kelly Wright from the Shoshone-Bannock tribes. Together, those two represent a double area. So they cover all of Idaho, Eastern Washington, and Eastern Oregon, which collectively is 15 tribes and 3 consortia. In Western Washington and Western Oregon for our last NTALK member, we have Daniel Ravenel and Russ Hepfer. Daniel is of the Quinault Indian Nation, and Russ Hepfer is of the Lower Elwha Klallam tribe. And together they represent also a crossover with the other Washington, Oregon reps, 29 tribes and 3 consortia. So as we mentioned, Ray has already identified his meetup time. The rest of us will be announcing the other representatives' meetup times later in the conference. So stay tuned for that and keep an eye out in that communications and community area to see when those meetups will pop up for you.
Hello, really quickly before we move on to the next presenter, I just really wanted to acknowledge a message that was sent from Kaz Matheson stating that they appreciate the land acknowledgement, and however wants to point out that the city of Spokane is also the traditional territory of the, pardon me, I'm sorry if I butcher how I'm saying this, the Shu'sumush people, the Coeur d'Alene tribe as well. So we wanted to bring that acknowledgement to them. And thank you for pointing that out. Greatly appreciate that.